Good afternoon. Phil Lindeman with your news from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery on Krystal 93. Nearly 134,000 cars passed through both sides of the tunnels this weekend in 72 hours, and nearly 1 in 4 of them made the trip in just 8 hours yesterday. 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. yesterday was by far the busiest time to drive I-70 through Summit. Total traffic this weekend was noticeably slower than Memorial Day, barely busier than the same weekend last year. DNA and 6 years of sleuthing have solved the mystery of a skull found in the Sky Chutes of the 10-mile range. Summit Deputy Coroner Wendy Kipple.
This case has haunted me since 2016.
Soon after that skull was found in July that year, the evidence piled up.
Search and rescue dogs did find additional remains. They found a gun.
But every lead was a dead end.
He had gone to every effort to conceal his identity. He had obliterated the serial number on the gun. There was nothing in his backpack.
With help from a global nonprofit, the DNA Doe Project, Kipple cracked the case and identified the man this spring.
Working through genetic genealogy, we were able to get a lead that this might be Jeff Peterson.
Peterson's family says he disappeared in 2012 after losing large sums of money in 2008. He told them he was going to Belize, and he would not be in touch.
It was frustrating when one would not pan out. It's like, dang it, I got to keep moving because I know this guy's family is missing him. I need to find out who he is. And they were missing him.
Instead, he came to Summit, where he loved to ski Breck and Copper, and took his life on a slope between the two.
It's hard to break that kind of information to families, but that's kind of what I do in my job on every case is having to break the news to a family that their loved one has died.
If you or someone you love is in need, contact Building Hope for free. Wrapping up this week in Park County is the jury trial for Alan Lee Phillips, the man accused of kidnapping and killing 2 Breckenridge women in 1982. The trail went cold for decades until last March, when DNA evidence led investigators to Phillips, living in Dumont. If guilty, the 70-year-old spends life in prison. 2 men from Mexico have been identified as the pair who likely drowned on Lake Dillon last week. 28-year-old Rigoberto Martinez and 23-year-old Alejandro Martinez were found dead in the water near Heaton Bay Campground. Official cause of death is pending an autopsy. September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and Krystal correspondent Matt Renew of 9 News recently paid a visit to Edwards, where Vail Health is building its latest facility.
The Precourt Healing Center for Mental Health Services. This is a pretty cool facility, that 3-story, 50,000 square foot, 28-bed facility.
Suicide is a leading cause of death for youth in Summit and neighboring counties.
That's really the focus of this, is the suicide prevention and to give either children or adults who need it the chance for inpatient short-term care.
The Precourt building opens in spring 2025. Local fire danger is high today, with no fire restrictions in Summit. County officials review the fire bans tomorrow. In sports, the Broncos open the regular season tonight with the Seahawks at 6:15 on ESPN. And in local sports, brought to you by Red Mountain Autos at their new location on Airport Road, Summit High cross-country runners were smashing school records over the weekend. Dom Ramikes beat a 2013 boys record by 20 seconds. Ella Hagen beat a 2004 girls record by 39 seconds. She now claims the second fastest time in the nation this season. Today, the Tigers golf team was at Yampa Valley Golf Club. Saturday was the Fall Classic, closing race of the Town Mountain Bike Series, where Taylor Sheldon ended the season with another win, ahead of Nathaniel Vakura and Jonathan Modig. Claire Hansen took the women's title, the only woman finishing in under 3 hours, ahead of Alyssa Dringo and Miranda Sheets. Runners from across the globe came to A-Basin Saturday for the Mountain Running Cirque Series, where Andy Walker of Boulder won the men's and overall race. Janelle Links of Thornton took the women's title. Arthur Whitehead of Frisco and Jacob Scraba of Keystone were the fastest local runners. They finished top 30 out of 492 runners. Phil Lindeman with your news from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery on Krystal 93.